Good morning, Excellencies, Ministers, Governors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the second Seoul Climate Energy Conference. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Sushilo Bambang Yudhoyono, the chairman and former president of Republic of Indonesia, a former Prime Minister of Korea Han Duck-soo, Chairwoman Na Kyung-won of National Assembly, and Vice Minister Lee Seok-ju. Also, I want to express my deep appreciation to Governor of Jeju, Won Hee-kyung, UN IPCC Chair Liu Hae-sung, and Director General Yves Dubois of GGGI. We also have prominent leaders from diplomatic arena, Ambassador Mark Lippert and Thomas Lehrman, who have participated in this conference as speakers, and many other ambassadors have joined us today. Above all, I sincerely thank participating audience on the floor, who are also experts and leaders of the field. It is a privilege to welcome you at this year's conference, where it is co-hosted by KAIST Graduate School of Green Growth and Coalition for Our Common Future. Especially, I want to thank and congratulate Professor and Dean of KAIST Graduate School of Green Growth, Lee Jae-kyu, and visiting professor and chairman of Coalition for Our Common Future, Kim Sang-hyuk. Thank you for all the work that you have put organizing this conference and connecting scattered dots of efforts to advocate and support in tackling the issues of climate change. In this year, the atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration exceeded 400 ppm for the first time in 3 billion years, and we are afraid that our globe might face catastrophe due to severe climate change in the future. However, it is crucial for us to recognize climate change as a matter of today, not tomorrow, because we have witnessed so many critical problems of climate change, such as tsunami, severe drought, flooding, and extinction of some plants and animals. KAIST especially has advocated more heavily on the research of climate change issues and training experts for the relevant areas. This becomes evident with the recent assessment that has announced KAIST as being ranked fourth in Better World MBA ranking organized by Corporate Knights. If we do not take immediate actions, we may witness the destruction of not only the environment, but also many living creatures, our economy, and society. In that sense, the second Seoul Climate Energy Conference is significant to reaffirm our will to reach a meaningful agreement at COP21 meeting in Paris, which is 10 days later from today. As the results of this conference will be delivered to the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, I truly hope this conference contribute to narrow down the different opinions for the global society in achieving low carbon development. Once again, I'd like to express my deep appreciation, and also it is my sincere hope that Seoul Climate Energy Conference 2015 proves to be highly fruitful and shall be successfully completed. Thank you very much.
Bambang Yudhoyono, Chairman of the Global Green Growth Institute and former President of the Republic of Indonesia. Excellency Dr. Lee Hui-sung, Chair of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me pleasure to greet the second Seoul International Climate Energy Conference, organized by KAIST Graduate School of Green Growth and the Coalition for Our Common Future. You meet at a critical moment. In just 10 days, world leaders will meet in Paris to forge a collective response to climate change. National governments have agreed to the goal of limiting global temperature rise to less than 2 degrees Celsius. The climate action plans, the intended nationally determined contributions, submitted so far bend the global emissions curve downward, but much more effort is still needed as soon as possible. The transformation of the world's energy systems is crucial for avoiding the worst consequences of climate change and setting the world on a more sustainable pathway. Our shared duty is to transition global energy systems in the direction of cleaner, lower carbon sources and to ensure the decarbonization of the world's energy systems well before the end of the century. Your efforts will contribute not only to meeting the climate challenge, but also in implementing the recently adopted 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This agenda is a roadmap to end global poverty, including energy poverty, and to help build a life of dignity for all on a healthy planet. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, reflect the important role of sustainable energy for societies, economies, and human well-being. SDG 7 calls for ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all by 2030. The agenda also recognizes the close links between energy and the other SDGs, including the goal on climate change. These goals and understandings also underpin the Sustainable Energy for All initiative. Thank you for your commitment to building a safer, more equitable, and prosperous future for all. Please accept my best wishes for a successful conference. Ki Moon Ban. Thank you.
First of all, it is a great pleasure to take this occasion to welcome and congratulate on the holding of second Seoul Climate and Energy Conferences organized by Korean Academy of Science and Technology and the distinguished organization Coalition for Our Common Future, led by Mr. Sang-Hyuk Kim. The theme of this conference is especially appropriate and meaningful in the sense that after such tremendous, strenuous, and enduring global efforts, we are at last close to an agreement that will clearly engage more than 195 countries, and we know that drastic reform efforts will be required on the parts of all stakeholders, including government, global citizens, businesses, and NGOs to deliver the results of the agreement. Because climate change is the most pressing agenda of our globe, and to the extent the characteristic of this agenda is global, we definitely need our actions that are global in nature, which make the cooperation in reaching the agreements all the more demanding. I really would like to offer my respect to those who initiated the processes and contributed to the success of the agreements. All of us here know so well that although we are close to some form of valuable agreements, the road we should travel to realize in full our goal to realize low-carbon society is still far and arduous. But with sincere and cooperative joint efforts that have been shown on the journey here, I firmly believe there is nothing we cannot achieve for saving the planet and securing the happy lives of our children and grandchildren. I look forward to the fruitful discussions today and hope this conference will serve as an opportunity to renew our commitments to realize the goal. Again, congratulations on the important and meaningful conference, and all the more appreciation for the efforts of the staff of hosting organizations to make this conference possible. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the organizers, KAIST Graduate School of Green and Coalition for Our Common Future, for inviting me to the Seoul Climate Energy Conference. I congratulate for hosting this yearly international conference that has brought more interest to experts of all fields. We are here today to continue with establishing a meaningful universal agreement on climate change. From what was presented in the first conference, I'm looking forward to seeing the provision of solid foundation that will be designed to grasp the keys to global action for success. The Paris Conference should be a starting point for countries to achieve a goal of keeping global temperature rise below the 2 degrees Celsius threshold and transit to a low carbon and climate resilient economy. Over the years, the Republic of Korea has committed to taking a responsible and active role in global efforts to combat climate change. Korea is a host country of the Secretariat of the GCF-led efforts to create the GGGI and has consistently played a bridging role between developed and developing countries. The IPCC recently elected Dr. Hae-sung Lee, a Korean national, as its new chair. The National Assembly of Korea, according to the country's enhanced national capacities and international responsibilities as a middle power, has constantly demanded the government to narrow the difference between developed and developing countries. In 2011, the Korean National Assembly took an early action by passing a bill on the Framework Act on Low Carbon Green Growth, which aimed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions through emissions trading schemes. Government implementation has also been monitored by parliamentary audits. Once the new agreement is reached in Paris, it would be determined whether the deal requires parliamentary ratification. If necessary, we will expedite relevant procedures. Climate change continues to be the defining issue of our time. The global issue is felt in all countries, and the countries cannot cope with the issue individually. Just like how we have come here together today, consolidated efforts from all countries are needed to resolve the visible issues. With the right direction of sustainability, it can also lead to opportunities in the economy where the sectors in the government, business, and civil society entirely can build climate resilience economy. I wish you successful and productive conference today, as well as COP21 in Paris. Thank you.
미래창조과학부 차관입니다. 근본 서울 기후 에너지 컨퍼런스 개최를 진심으로 축하드립니다. 제가 지난해에도 이 컨퍼런스에 와서 한국 정부의 기후 분야에 대응하는 기술 개발 현황과 협력 사항을 말씀을 드린 바가 있습니다. 이런 중요한 컨퍼런스가 항상 지난해도 그랬습니다만 반기문 총장님께서 제안하신 기후 정상회의를 앞두고 하셨고 올해도 매우 중요한 UN 기후변화 협약 당사국 총회 COP21을 불과 10일 정도 앞둔 중요한 시점에서 이런 컨퍼런스를 마련해 주신 우리 이재규 학장님과 김상혁 대표님의 그 정말 그 시적절함에 항상 감탄을 하고 있습니다. 뭐 기후변화에 대응한다는 것은 뭐 글로벌한 챌린지고 그런 부분에 대해서 한국이 예외일 수는 없습니다. 뭐 현재의 한국이 갖고 있는 경제사회 산업 구조를 봤을 때 기후변화에 야심적이고 선도적으로 대응하는 것은 한계가 있을 것입니다. 그렇지만 저희가 주어져 있는 산업 구조 내에서 최대한 하고자 하는 것이 한국 정부의 기본 방침이고 그런 점에서 지난번에 바우 대비 2030년까지 37%를 감축하는 안을 발표하고 국제사회에 제출한 바가 있습니다. 보시기에 따라서는 미흡하다고 보실 수도 있겠습니다만 그것은 저희가 목표로서 갖고 있는 것이고 저희가 하고 있는 노력에 따라서는 그보다 훨씬 더 감축할 수도 있을 것입니다. 뭐 항상 보게 되면 특히 기후변화 관련되는 협약을 합의를 이꾸는 것은 굉장히 어려운 것 같습니다. 파리 총회를 불과 10일밖에 남기고 있지 않습니다만 비공식 협상을 통해서 들리는 소식은 그렇게 낙관적인 것 같지는 않습니다. 그러나 저는 그러한 어려움 속에서도 희망을 잃지 않는 것이 굉장히 중요하다고 생각하는 것이 어저께 한국과 일본의 굉장히 중요한 야구 게임이 있었습니다. 그래서 일본 투수가 시속 160km를 달하는 공을 던진 그런 분이 계셔서 한국 타자들이 침묵을 했습니다만 9회 기적과 같이 4대3으로 역전을 했었습니다. 저는 8회까지만 봤습니다. 너무 낙담해서 8회까지만 봤는데 아침 새벽에 일어나 보니까 4대3으로 역전이 되어 있더라고요. 저도 아마 파리에서 아마 여기 계시는 모든 분들이 파리에서 그런 기적을 기대하고 있을지도 모르겠습니다. 저 역시 산업화 이전 대비 2% 기온 상승이라는 그 야심찬 목표를 달성하기 위한 첫 걸음이 파리 총회에서 띄어지기를 진심으로 기대하고 한국 정부도 그 부분에 역할을 할 수 있도록 최선을 다하도록 하겠습니다. 한국 정부 노력을 합니다만 미흡합니다. 하지만 국제사회의 일원으로서 특히 국제적인 테러가 전 인류의 존엄성에 대한 도전이고 지구 공동체의 안전을 위협하는 요소라고 한다면 온실가스도 그에 준하는 국제적 대응이 노력합니다. 필요하고 한국 정부도 거기에 대한 이런 역할을 할 것이라는 것을 다시 한 번 더 강조드리고 오늘 끝까지 저기 앉아서 이 중요한 컨퍼런스 발제를 제가 다 들었으면 좋겠습니다만 기후변화 대응과 온실가스 감축과 관련된 예산 심의가 지금 국회에서 한창 되고 있습니다. 그 예산을 지키고 증액시키기 위해서 불가피하게 자리를 뜨게 됨을 용서해 주시기 바랍니다. 오늘 이 자리에 오신 너무 훌륭한 분들이 많습니다. 유도현호 GGI 의장님, 그 다음에 이혜성 IPCC 의장님, 나경원 위원장님, 원희경 지사님, 무엇보다도 이장모 이사장님, 거울 한덕수 총리님, 그 다음에 박지원 유영숙 장관님, 제가 일일이 이름을 검명하기도 좀 미안할 정도로 많은 중요한 분들이 많이 오셨습니다. 좋은 결과 도출하셔서 파리 총회에 중요한 영향력을 행사해 주시기 바랍니다. 감사합니다.